All right, guys, and we're live.
Nice.
How are you guys doing today?
Good, good.
Thank
Fine,
you for
thank you.
joining. Thank you for joining. Hey, I just want to set the stage really quickly. I just want to welcome everyone to the ranking stream. The ranking stream interviews SEO experts, tool builders, anyone in the space who's making digital marketers, and SEOs lives just way easier in terms of reducing any headaches, finding the right tools. And today we have two great tool builders or someone involved in the SEO, geotagseo.com space, and we're basically talking local SEO. So Karim and Kiru, thank you for joining again. I appreciate you guys.
Thank you for inviting us. And yeah, let's talk about this tool.
Hey, and then real quick, where are you guys calling in from, just so the audience knows as well? And what time is it there?
So for us, it's okay. It's 3 p.m. in the afternoon, so we are fresh, middle of the day. So that's why we are, I think, energetic.
Yeah,
All
and
right, all right, keep that.
we are
Sorry,
located
Kiru, go ahead.
in Zurich, in Switzerland, near Geneva, and we are actually in a co-working now, sitting in two opposite booths.
That's amazing. Well, hey, it's 8 a.m. here in Austin, Texas. We're Central Time Zone, so I'm still getting up to your energy. So we're gonna have to balance each other out in terms of energy levels here. But I think we could do that. But hey, guys, I just wanted to get to know you and your backgrounds. Can you give me a little bit of information about your background and your role within the company?
I start, if that's all right for you, Kiro.
Yeah, go ahead.
So basically, I own a SEO agency for 6 years, and let's say most of my customers are local local companies. It can be service company, it can be restaurants, it can be barbershops, and we have different type of services. Let's say we have building websites on WordPress mainly. We also do, of course, SEO and local SEO with Google My Business. And so yes, we did this for the last 6 years. Right now, we are one of the biggest, let's say, SEO agency in our town in Lausanne. And yeah, we started this project with Kyo, I think
Like a
5 months
year
ago
ago.
or 6 months ago.
Or
And maybe Kyo, if you can introduce, because Kyo has way more experience than me on projects and yeah.
So from my side, I'm actually not from SEO. I'm a software developer, and I do a bunch of projects online. So I'm on an indie hacker track where I do a bunch of websites, put them online, and see who is using it. And then I have a partnership with another friend. We do like proof of concept for other companies. And actually, I met Karim in the co-working, and he was like, "Oh, I have this issue, so you wanna are interested to do something together?" And then this is how we started working together.
That's amazing. And so the idea, so you're working with SEO, local SEO clients. Where did the idea for the local or the geotagging of images kind of come from? Was that something that your clients were demanding, or is that something that you saw as an opportunity to kind of fill the gap?
Yeah, so basically, Google My Business algorithm is very complicated to change. Of course, you can do some changes with the title, with the category, with the description, with some of the products you promote, but it's very difficult to be on the first position on Google My Business. For SEO, it's easier. You just have to do a correct on page, good technical SEO, then you pay a lot of backlinks, and you will be on the first position after some point when the competition is all right. But with Google My Business, it's very complicated because there is also the geolocalization. Let's say a restaurant that is in the middle of the city will always have more chance than a restaurant that is more to the suburbs of the city. So it's not equal chances for everyone. And I was trying to find new way to rank for Google My Business. And so I hear a lot of podcasts. I'm on many groups on Telegram, Twitter, and I heard once, I think 1 year ago, about the geolocalization, or maybe 2 years ago. And so I found it accurate because this is logic to have the geolocalization inside the picture. It gave an information to Google, so I tested it on different projects, and the good thing is that I had maybe at the moment 50 projects. So I tried with geotagging pictures, and I continue with the other without geotagging pictures, and I saw big results between the first restaurant and the second restaurant. So after some point, I did another test with another. It was a building company, a plumber from one city and from another one, and same thing. I got good results. So I started to use one other tool. So basically, the tool that gave us the idea to create geotag, and the tool was all right, but so many bugs, so many problems to use it, and for me to, since I use a geotag, I really win a lot of time. So it was I think maybe an MVP that you can use the other websites, but I mean, if you want to do it efficiently, you cannot use it for long term.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, that's true. I do remember using some older like plugins for WordPress for geotagging like images. Can you guys both give your perspective around like what was some of the problems? Like what were some of those bugs that you noticed early on that these other tools weren't really supporting, and how is yours kind of different? How did you take your approach?
Yeah, maybe I will answer to that, Kiro, because
go ahead. You have more experience with the pain points there.
It was very painful for me to use this tool because basically it worked. So that's the most important thing, right? But you cannot add. You can just add picture by pictures. You cannot add maybe, I don't know, 5 or 10 pictures at the same time. So for me, it was very annoying to how to say, actualize the page refresh the page every time. It was I mean, yeah, it was very boring. Also, I couldn't edit the title of the picture, and the title of the picture are very important. With the other tool, I could edit the tags, the meta description, the alt text, but not the title, and the title is so important. So I had to do it manually every time, and it was kind of boring. And also they had a lot of bugs. I couldn't explain it, but sometimes with the size of the picture of the format, or I don't know, but it was many bugs, and I had to do maybe 2 or 3 times to make it work, or maybe I had to edit it on Photoshop before using it on the tool. So that's why it was annoying for me.
Gotcha. And Kiru, what were some of the technical like challenges you faced on your end in terms of like how the program actually, you know, identifies latitude, longitude, if a person is whether they're central or they're actually outside of a city? How are you kind of like thinking about the structure there, or how to kind of build that out?
So basically, when Karim mentioned all these pain points, I was like, technically, this is so easy to fix. You know, changing the file name is like so trivial to do. And so back to your question, the hardest point was basically there are so many ways how you write the coordinate inside the pictures. Like you would think, you know, everyone agreed on simple way. No, there are like 3 different ways how you can put the coordinates. And then we had to, basically we experimented that. We had to experience that as well. You know, this doesn't work in this file format. So we have to change that. But I think it's like normal technical issues we had at the beginning.
Gotcha. Yeah. And so like if I take a photo with my cell phone, obviously like won't the cell phone kind of geotag it itself, or how does the tool kind of like differentiate between what the device actually records versus how you kind of optimize inside your tool?
So basically, if you take a picture, then if you had the location on, then I think, so depending on your settings, then it will write the exact location inside the file. But then we also noticed, for example, if your client sends that picture via Telegram to you or WhatsApp, Telegram and WhatsApp will strip away the information. So at the end, you will get the image back, but without the information. Makes sense because they want to save on data transfer. So in that, like, you know, for the general use makes sense, but for the SEO use, it's like then you have the image without the information. So basically, the tool writes the information back, and then you can change where you want to put it.
Interesting. I didn't know that. No, that's really fascinating. But it makes sense, yeah, why they would guard your security, like you mentioned. I mean, I wouldn't want to send somebody a photo and then they know exactly where I am in terms of details. Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Actually, on Twitter there used to be like a bot, which was like, rope me now. I think it was rope me now or something, because people would post like, oh yeah, I'm leaving my house to go to work. And then initially Twitter used to put the location in each tweet.
Oh no.
So that bot would just look for people who said, yeah, I'm leaving to work, and then just post the location, or go rope me.
Oh no. That's a disaster. It sounds like a disaster, especially people who aren't actually going to work. You know, they were doing something different. Oh man, that's a bummer. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm glad that's out of the picture now. But that's a great description in terms of like how the tool, you know, could get the geotagging, and you could kind of set that out in terms of where you're wanting the photo kind of coordinates to be. I also saw that just on the site, and if you guys don't mind, I'll pull up the website just to kind of show folks the site itself. But I was also looking at the keywords. You says you could add kind of your own keywords instead of having kind of like, is that just kind of in the naming convention? How important is the naming convention for the actual like images themselves? And let me see, I'll share it here. All right, let me know if you could see that.
Yeah, we see it.
Okay, so yeah, I'm just walking through some of the features here. But yeah, I was looking at the naming convention of the image. Yeah, for the folks that don't know, how important is this kind of the naming convention of an image?
Karim,
Sorry, the question.
Oh yeah, it could be to either one of you guys. Yeah.
Yeah, so sorry about that, but I think my connection is not the best. But
Oh, no worries.
So could you please repeat your question, please?
Yeah. So how important is the naming convention of your images? So do you want to have like, you know, generic? I see just kind of like some photos will have like WhatsApp kind of 7, 8. They'll have like a number. How important is it to include like specific description key terms there, or how important is that?
Yeah, so basically we just added the functionalities that were essential for our picture. Of course, you can add many, like Kiro said, you can add many keywords on the picture, but at the end we just wanted to have the good ones. First one is the title of the picture. It's important for Google My Business, but also on your website. If you have, for example, if this picture is, I don't know, best website in New York, if you go on Google Image, maybe you will see this picture appearing. And once you click on it, you go on the website. So the name of the picture was important. Then of course, geolocalization is important, but more for Google My Business. It means that this picture is really related to this area. So if you come from this area, it's important for you. And the other one are the description and tags. I cannot exactly prove it that it is checked by Google, but I think it does, because it's logical to, for example, on a WordPress website, you see the alt text, and at the end, the alt text is the same as the tags and the description we have on pictures.
Gotcha. All right. Now that makes a lot of sense. And so if you guys like, I mean, I'm definitely curious to see what this actually looks like. If you don't mind, we could jump into the demo of the tool to kind of see how it actually works and operates.
Yep.
Right,
Kiro, you prefer I do it, or do you want to?
Yeah, go ahead, try it. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just gonna open it. Present, share screen. Good. And
all right.
So I think right now you see my screen, right?
Yeah, we see your screen.
Yep, we can see it.
Perfect. So of course I have the paid version. So the free version is the same if you want. You can use it, but it's one picture at a time, and you have to scroll by yourself with the location. Maybe I'm gonna show you right now how I use it with the paid version, and after I can show you how I do it with the free version. But basically, okay. I have to take some pictures. So for example, I own a restaurant. I will add here the picture. Once I got it, I can just add the location of my picture. For example, I will test it with one of my customers. It is restaurant L'Étoile in Lausanne. So I will just click on the location. We have directly the exact location. And for example, this picture, it's a Mexican, I don't know, let's say Mexican food. Mexican food Lausanne in the image title. And as you can see, once you write the title, it's also write the tags and the description. And once you upload it, you will see that the name of the picture is Mexican food Lausanne.jpg. If you want to directly add it on your website, you can also download the WebP version. So as you know, the WebP version is better to have a quicker website. It's not as heavy as JPEG pictures. So this is the first way to use it. But if you want to be more efficient, like I said before, you can add 5 pictures or 10 pictures, how much you want. And you can directly do it like this. So for example, I click on the first one. One more time, I will write L'Étoile. Let's try something else, Lausanne. Because something interesting here is that we can put the exact location, but we can also add different location. For example, one of the strategy we do, 50% of the pictures go on the exact location, for example, on the location of the restaurants, and 50% of the other pictures are around the restaurants. And I will show you how. So one more time, I write here restaurant Lausanne. We see here, double check that it's working. I click on this next one, and then here, one more time, I will write restaurant L'Étoile Lausanne. Here, so this one is the exact location. Okay, so it's a burger Lausanne. Good. Next one, I do the same. L'Étoile restaurant. Good. And this one, I will not exactly choose this location. I will maybe go here, close to the city. So maybe if someone that is close to this location is looking for a restaurant in Lausanne or just a restaurant, this picture will appear easier than if he was in Geneva or I don't know in Paris. So one more time, I will change the title, change the description, and that's it. One more important thing is that sometimes in the picture I describe the picture. As you can see here, it was burger Lausanne, or here it was Mexican food, for example. But sometimes I just add the exact keywords: restaurant near me or Italian restaurant, and that's it. I try to do 50% of optimized keywords and 50% of generic keywords.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Can you you hit on it a little bit more? You hit on it a little bit, but can you explain a little bit more, like the proximity you said? You said so it's important to include it, exactly in the location and in surrounding areas, just in case. How far do you actually go with that bubble, or is there a rule of thumb at all?
So as you can see here, it's the exact location, but my goal is to track to target this city, the city of Lausanne, that is the main the main city. So of course I will try to be around this city because, for example, here the city of Lausanne is all this place, so I can go from here to here, but my goal is to stay on the city. For example, here you see it's Puy. I won't go on this village, but I will stay here. For example, here I know it's Lausanne. And it has to stay in the city of Lausanne, because someone here maybe will write restaurant Lausanne on Google, but he will maybe also write restaurant or restaurant Puy, and it's not logical for us to be there. Right. And
Interesting. Okay. And I know with like some citation builders, they allow you to add images to them, and obviously like here we have, like Yelp, we have some other local, like, Yellow Pages, and we have a bunch of those, but we usually have these citation builders that could do a lot of that for us. We just have to upload the images once to like a Yext or something like that, and then it'll distribute them out to local directories. How important is having your images geotagged for citation builders like Yext or some of these other ones that are out there?
So for the other one, I don't really know because, for example, here in Switzerland, or even we have I don't know 20 or 30% of our customers in Europe. There is nothing else than Google. There is some other. There is also the yellow pages, but it's not used. So at the end, we just focus on Google My Business, and it's where we have most of the results.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
actually,
I could see that. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
the
Go ahead.
market share of Google here in Switzerland especially is huge.
Yeah.
Like basically everyone uses just Google to find businesses.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely here as well. We definitely have some competitors like Yelp and these other sites. And I can only imagine that this folks in the SEO community here would also, they would use these geo tagging platforms to tag the images and then like shoot them out everywhere to not only help with like that local directory itself, like Yelp, but to create like local signals for all these images on Google and like other platforms as well. So I'm excited because I could see some of my clients, using your tool, and then we would upload all their images to a platform that shoots it out to all the local directories. And I would imagine that it would create even additional signals to Google to be like, hey, these images are associated with this restaurant in these particular locations. So I'd imagine it'd be like a dual threat. It'll be having the power of Google with the geotag images and then kind of spreading them around the internet as like additional local signals as well.
Yeah, very powerful. For example,
Very
we just do it on WordPress and Google My Business. I mean, on a website and Google My Business, but you can also do it on social media. For example, if you add
Yeah,
this optimized
exactly.
pictures on Facebook especially, you appear on the first position on Google Image. Instagram and Twitter, TikTok, not so much, but on Facebook, it's crazy. We don't do it so much, but if you do it, you have big results.
That's amazing. And so, yeah, I could only imagine the results like that your clients are having inside of your Google like My Business reports. Are you seeing? I typically see this as well. Like our images get a ton of views and mainly a lot of impressions and definitely some clicks. But I'm also like, wow, like it's kind of surprising every time I look at that report because sometimes it's just off the charts. Like images get a lot of views, especially for restaurants where I mean it's pretty obvious. But even in other spaces, I've noticed that images get a ton of impressions and clicks, but we haven't really optimized them as we should. And I can only imagine with something like this, if we're optimizing them, we're enhancing them, we're only going to get like just more growth, and that's a potential opportunity for growth and reach there. But what do your clients' reports look like? Do you see the same thing with like your report? Do the image impressions and clicks actually help with like driving traffic to the website, or is it just specifically for like Google My Business pages and profiles?
So yes, we also see huge results thanks to the pictures. The area where we have the best results are, of course, restaurants, but also hairdressers, barbershops, building companies. Crazy. Once you renovate a bathroom or a kitchen and you put the pictures, you have so much results. And then some other examples like I don't know how, some specific, but let's say the big thing are building companies, restaurants, barbershops. And then for the results, I don't know if you saw, but here in Switzerland or in Europe, the Google My Business changed, and right now we can't see the numbers of the pictures. Before we used to go on the platform, on business platform, and we see exactly how many views we have per pictures. But right now this changed maybe 3 months ago here in Europe. I don't know if in the States it's also the same, or how is the Google My Business for you?
That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, usually I could imagine that things would probably be updated here too. I'm checking it now, actually. That's weird. Why was that? Because of privacy, or because why did they change that? Really, what was that change in?
That's a good question. I don't know. I'm gonna also check right now, maybe to show you one of the examples, because right now maybe I can share my screen so I can also see
go
what I
ahead.
see.
I'm looking into it too, because that'd be really helpful to kind of know. And I was under the impression that we were still kind of looking at it. I mean, some of my clients aren't like the hairdressers and all that, the clients that are very visual, but their images still got a lot of hits. So I'm checking in the one profile now. But yeah.
But this is, for example, what I see. Before, you used to go on performances and you directly have the pictures. Right now, here, you can still see the how to say, the keywords and how people find you. You can see the calls the people received. So all good. But the pictures right now, the only way to see if you posted a picture is here. And so first it's slow, and you don't see the numbers. So
wow.
This completely changed. Sometimes I know how to go to the previous version, but sometimes no. So complicated. One more thing I didn't mention, but we recommend to post at least one per week, one picture per week, or one post with a picture per week to have great results. For example, here you have the post on the bottom.
Oh, gotcha. Let me share that real quick. Okay, I have it up on the screen. Yeah, it's interesting. It seems like that data, like you mentioned, may have just moved to Search Console, where you're able to look at like image data from there. But yeah, it's interesting how it's not showing on my end as well. So yeah, it must have been a part of that same update. So many updates out there. It's kind of hard to keep track of literally all of them. But seeing it in Search Console, yeah, where we're able to look at specific image data. So
for this example, I just wanted to show you also that right now he is on the 3rd position, but most of the time he was on the 1st position. I don't know if you also see many times you have the title of your page that is automatically changed. And for example, I saw that yesterday all my pages were updated without our agreement. So the new update I see on Google My Business is that they change a lot without asking. So they changed the titles, they changed many things.
Interesting. And you mentioned one picture a day. Is that just to have a regular cadence to continue to feed Google to show them the location, or why is that cadence kind of important?
Once a week. I prefer to say once a week, because once a day you have to have so much content. But once a day is also good. I mean, if you have pictures and content. Why it is important? Because basically I track all the result of every of our customers, and I how to say, I know exactly when I post it, the hour, the day, and yes, one small tip: if you post on Thursday afternoon or Friday, it's the best time to post, because it's just before the weekend. And for example, for restaurants, you have great results, because it shows that your page is active. And so yeah, at least one per week. It's very important, and this is the only way to keep the same ranking on Google My Business.
Interesting. All right, that's a great tip. I definitely didn't know that, so that'd be something kind of adding to the cadence for some of my clients. In terms of the product and where it is now and where you see it in the future, maybe you both could speak to where do you guys see the product kind of evolving? What are your goals kind of for it now, and versus like what it's going to become in the future? What's kind of your vision for it?
So I can start. So basically our goal is like, we don't want to blow it away, like blow this product with so many features. We really want to keep it simple. That was one of our issues with the previous tools. It might be the best, but it was too complicated, and it did everything. So we really want to focus on, you should not really geotag, that it should really perfectly, that you should not have any other bugs, any issues. And we are in a phase where we are testing this tool. We actually tested for 3 months and it worked. Now we are like just experimenting. How well does it work? Are there any things we can improve? And right now it seems like it's at a phase where it's stable. And Karim he's using it daily. So that's a that's a great sign for us.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And maybe to continue, it's I know it was one of your questions. I don't know if I can already talk about it. Maybe about the UI UX. I mean, how we design it. But like Kiro said, the goal is to be simple. We didn't want it to overcomplicate it. But so we tried to. So we hired a UI UX designer. She did an amazing job. But at the end, we were checking the results with Hotjar, to record the experience of the user. And so many users didn't know how to use it. It was crazy.
Wow.
So we had to oversimplify it by adding a GIF that shows how to use it. We also added some texts because maybe it was too complicated, but so we did. We added. We deleted some buttons. We made some bigger buttons, call to action, and yeah. So at the end, we thought it was very easy to use, but with Hotjar, you see the real behavior, and it's crazy because so many people didn't know how to use it and were staying maybe 3, 4, 5 minutes without updating the picture. So we had to change.
Wow. Well, that's good on you guys for hiring, like thinking about the UX, and then like testing it and then kind of tweaking based on what the audience was doing, their behavior. I think there's a lot of SEO tools out there, great ones, but they're super complicated to use, and you kind of have to be an expert to use them. So it helps to invest in that early on to make it as simple as possible, like you guys have done, which sounds like it's just able. When you just remove those barriers and folks are able to use it for its true application, I think that's a win. So well done on that front. So I mean, this is great. I mean, I'm a fan of the tool. There's a lot I learned from this session. I think. And do you guys have any other kind of shout outs that you wanted to give, or if folks want to reach you, how do they find you?
Kiro, if you wanna start.
Wait, the lights turned off. So I have a website, kiro.io. That's where I post all the projects I'm working on, or like geotech, for example, projects I used to work. So if you want to follow there, otherwise I'm very active on Twitter. And then the company with a friend of mine is called vmg.com. So if you want to check it out, go ahead.
Awesome, thanks.
Yeah. And Kiro is very humble. If you go on his page, you can see that he had really amazing results, especially with the Wordle tendance that was during COVID. He created one tool called Mathel, where he had maybe 5,000 users per day or 10,000 users per day.
Same. It was even more. It was peak times. There were peak times there were 80,000 users per day.
That's insane.
So yeah, Kiro is very crazy with his projects. And for us, no, I mean, to conclude, I mean, if you really want to have a result with Geotag, you can really use the free version. It's easy. It just takes you more times, and yeah. So this tool was really built for SEO specialists, for freelance. So I mean, if you have more than 10 customers, you have to have it because it makes you win so much time. And otherwise, if you are Swiss and if you want a really good SEO, you can contact us on LinkedIn.
That's awesome. Well, thank you guys both for this. I had a great time, and I thank you both for being on. And you guys have a great tool that you're building, and I'm certainly a fan and gonna share it with my network as well. And I'm looking to really give it a go. So thank you for that. Thank you for the information here. Appreciate you both.
Thank you for the invitation.
Thank you, Michael, for the invitation.
Thanks for
coming. And good luck on your podcast. We'll follow you.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you guys. Well, I appreciate you guys, and I'll let you guys get back to it. Thank you. Thanks for being on.
Bye.
Thank you. See you guys.